Lee Nason?
Yes.
It's a cool name. You sound like a country singer.
Lee Thomas Nason. It is a little country.
Lee Thomas Nason? That man said the N-word before. Hey.
A lady never tells.
A lady never kisses and tells. All right. I don't want to watch it yet. Hold on. Okay. Are we ready?
It's not what I expected.
It's not what I expected when I saw it was trending, to be honest.
Yes, we are ready when you are.
All right. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kim Congdon Takeover. I'm Kim Congdon, here with myself, Kim Congdon. Yep, that's right. It's a solo pod. I'm really excited about this because I get to see just how mentally ill I am. Doing a solo pod is seeing like how sick you are. Like if you could just talk to yourself, it's a level of narcissism that is not comparable.
No.
It's sick.
It's a rough one.
It's a rough one, dude. It's not easy. I tried to get some things to talk about because, to be honest, I kind of gave up. I did. In the last few weeks, I did. I got hit. My car got hit 3 weeks ago. Almost totaled. $10,000 in damage. So it's been in the shop for 3 weeks. And I know that some people don't have cars, so this is going to sound very but living in LA without a car, it's not a walkable city. Like it is if you want to be like molested and groped and possibly murdered. But it's not a good city, dude. It's fucking scary.
I don't even like to walk anywhere.
It is scary. I'm with my boyfriend and still sometimes I'm like, this man could just stab me that's walking behind me. There is a lady walking in front of us. We tried to take a nice walk to go get a coffee 10 minutes away yesterday. And the lady in front of us was just coughing. And it's one of those sidewalks where we're just behind her the whole time. And we're walking and I'm like, we have to stop because we're just walking in this woman's cough. Like it is just breathing in other people's sicknesses when you go outside here. So it's not good. But I haven't had a car for a few weeks and it's been in the shop. I call every fucking week. And these motherfuckers, I swear to God, is anybody doing anything? That's what I want to know. Is anybody actually working? I call these motherfuckers for 3 weeks. Every day they're getting ready to prime the car. What are you doing? What do you have to do? What is this foreplay you have to do to prime the car? Isn't priming the car getting ready for it to paint? So why are you getting ready to paint it? What are you doing? But I don't say that. Instead, I go, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let me know when it's ready. And they keep saying a day, and then I'll call that day, and they're like 2 more days. And that's what fucks me up. And not having a car, it's giving me weird fucking like thoughts where I'm like poetic thoughts where I'm like, as soon as I get her back, I'm hitting PCH. Like I'm like, I'm going far away. I want to see the stars again. Because when you're a woman, you can't go out at night unless you have a vehicle.
You're Jenny in the cornfield.
Yeah. I wish I was a Honda CR-V 2019 so I could drive away. I could drive far, far away. It fucking sucks, dude. I gained weight. That's why I'm on a diet now. I already talked about the last podcast. I'm on an eating disorder diet, 1,200 calories a day. Don't do it. It's not fun. It's not healthy. But I'll admit it. Because you know what? I'm not a fake lying bitch. I'm not going to be out here selling skinny gummies on the internet. I'm eating disordering for 30 days. Because you know what? It works. Every time I've ever lost weight, it's been unhealthy. I don't think I've ever, just eat 3 small meals a day and work out an hour a day. I'm not doing that. Who has time? Who has time to eat 3 meals a day and work out? That's 5 hours. Are you not working? Are these people unemployed? Every girl I've seen with abs just has daddy's money. Of course she has fucking abs. She has time to go get a fucking matcha. And she walks there because she has nowhere to go because her bills are paid. That's why she's hot.
Yes, you're right.
Dude, it's time consuming to be healthy and mentally well.
Yeah.
How many hours in a day? You want me to do therapy? You want me to work out? You want me to keep up with my job? You want me to have a social life? You want me to have a healthy relationship and call my grandparents?
I've completely given up on all of those.
You didn't keep one.
Not one.
Lee's kept 0. But I get it, dude. It fucking stings. It's not fun. And it's like and life is exhausting. And I don't want to sit here because, to be honest, life is exhausting for me, and I'm one of the luckiest people ever. So I could only, and I also, that's another punishment. I feel bad for everyone else all the time. You think I don't feel guilty that I'm complaining about my fucking one podcast a week?
Yeah, you're killing it.
But it's more than that. I want you guys to know it is more than that. I'm in a meeting every day. I've written 4 scripts, 4 full movies. That's like full days. I'm just not getting paid. So no, I'm working, but no one's paying me for the things I'm doing when I'm not working. But it never ends. The emails never end. Oh my God, the amount of emails I get that could be a quick phone call. The conversations I have where I'm like, can we summarize this?
Oh my God. Yes. Yeah. It's the worst.
Not everything needs to be a thread. Can we say that?
Shoot me a text.
Shoot me a text or shoot yourself in the head and don't talk to me. Stop talking to me, everyone. Leave me alone. I just want to be...
There's so many levels to that.
Shoot me. Shoot me a text or kill yourself. Those are the... Please. And make the text quick. If you send me a text and you say, "Can I ask you a question?" I want you to get terminally ill. Can I ask you a question? You had one question. That was it.
That was your shot.
I'm ADD. You hit your limit with me. The question should have been in the first text, and it should be quick. Hey, do you want to go to this? And then the people that break down conversations, like, okay, let's say like, hey, do you want to hey, can I ask you a question? Sure. Do you want to go to lunch on Wednesday? Sure. Where would you like to go?
Ugh.
I mean, do you want to go to lunch on Wednesday? I'm thinking tacos at 2. That's how I text.
You're asking me.
You're asking me. Have the plan. Now I got to filter through all my... Just tell me the time. I'll tell you if I'm available.
Yeah.
Why do people have to be so open with their communication? What do you have, 2 parents? What are you asking so many questions? You ever see someone... with 2 healthy parents have a conversation? Boy, do they have all the time in the world for the detail. Oh, how'd you make that stew? How much cilantro did you put in? Who cares? Who cares? Why would anyone care?
I don't think I'm friends with anybody with healthy parents.
I am. And you know what? It is kind of sweet to see. And it kind of is like, when you're friends with someone with healthy parents, it's kind of like going on an island when you live in a city, like taking a vacation on an island where everything slows down. And at first you're angry, but by the 3rd day, you're like, I really missed something in my childhood. Like I should have grown up in Hawaii.
You start to heal.
Yeah, you start to heal. You're like, maybe this is good for you. My friend Alex and her parents are like so healthy. Like when I stayed with her, I was like shocked to see that her mom would... both of her parents, I mean, this is a woman in her 30s, and she was living with them her whole life, only child. And they would come in the room and hang out with us. And then we go downstairs and hang out with them. And they're awesome, by the way. They're like fucking cool people. So it was fine. But then when we'd leave, they'd say goodbye at the door. And then we'd get in the car and they'd walk to the car and make her open the window so they can kiss her again. And I was like, this is too much.
That's uncomfortable.
At first I thought it was. And now that I've spent enough time with their family, I'm like, this little family loves each other. I could cry.
It's literally what love is.
It's literally bringing a tear to my eye. This little family, like you see them realize that there is only one life. My mom could give a shit. My mom sees me, she's like, you have rolls. And I'm like, okay. She bullies me. And then like my mom does shit like if she's on an elevator and I'm walking towards it, she'll hit the door close button. Like I'm like, she could care less, dude. She could care less. But this little family, boy, do they just want to hug and kiss until their lives end. And there's something sweet about that. But they have a lot of time.
All the time.
A lot of time, man. Not me. I feel like I don't know if anybody else feels like they're living minute by minute. But I feel like I'm like, if I eat this muffin, I'll have 35 seconds to call an Uber. And if the Uber takes 4 minutes, I could take 1 hit of my joint and maybe email this person back. But at the same time, I'm always doing something. At the same time, I'm the kind of person that goes, I've been saying for 3 weeks, I need to make an appointment with my therapist. This morning, I did it in 22 seconds.
Right.
And I've been saying it for 3 weeks, stressing.
I feel like a lot of people would hop onto this.
So maybe I'm not busy. Maybe I'm anxious.
And
or both.
A little depressed.
Yeah, I think so. I think I have a touch of like everything bad. I don't know if I don't know if like just illness is a spectrum, but I think I'm like on a 4. I'm like, okay, this is what I think I have. I'm pretty sure I have OCD.
Okay.
My therapist
Why?
says that I've had. He's mentioned a couple times. He's like, that's a little OCD.
What, like
and
anything specifically?
I'm really scared. Well, this actually haven't gotten into it with him, but I've been talking about it lately because a lot of my OCD has gotten better since I've gotten a boyfriend, but a lot of other things have gotten worse. Like it's shifted the things I focus on. Now I'm not so constantly thinking about death and dying and like every choice I make being death because to be honest, this is sad. Now that I'm not alone, I could die. Like that's how I feel. Like now that I feel like I've found love, I'm like, oh, I completed the thing.
You've made it.
I've been looking for it for so long. Now that I know that exists, I'm like, okay, so that is cool. But it's fucked up. Like now that I'm dating a guy and all I've ever wanted was a manly guy. And now I have this like hick from the woods of Texas. He's not a hick, but like he's like a man. Like he shits in the woods kind of man. And he has ramped up my dirty OCD. Where I'm like, he'll touch anything. He sees a paper floating in the wind in LA and he'll pick it up to see what it is. I'm like, no, someone came in that. He's very adventurous with his hands and the things he'll smell and stuff. And I'm like, please. I feel like it's a toddler where I have to wipe his hands constantly.
Now it's like, because I want you to touch me.
Yes.
Yeah, after. And if it's like, no.
He used
garbage.
a public bidet. And I'm like, yeah, it's not a public bidet, but a bidet that belonged to someone else.
Is that just a drinking fountain?
No, for your asshole. It's when your asshole drinks from a fountain. But in my OCD head, even if the bidet is clean, perfectly clean, is there not a chance that when you're shooting water up your ass and shit is coming back down, that little tiny specks of shit go back into where the water came from? Once it's turned off, this is where the OCD comes in. I do think so. Once you close the thing and the water turns off because the pressure stops, it does give a little suck motion. So is there not a chance that a little bit of fecal matter could be waiting for the next shot?
I mean,
yes. Yes. Yes or no? Just besides just straight up.
Do you want me to be honest or do you want me to agree with you?
Be honest. You don't think that?
No.
You don't think a little speckle of poop gets back in?
I don't think it's sucking in. I think it's just closing a valve.
Okay, so what if it's not sucking back in, but the poop lands on it?
See,
and it's waiting right outside the area where the water shoots. That's
the problem. Is there could be poop on it.
So my issue is you're putting other people's fecal, I almost said other men's fecal matter in you.
That's the problem.
Yeah, you're putting in you and then you're going to go inside my body. I'm not transferring fecal matter with people because I'm in a relationship.
This raises a good question. If it was an exclusive female toilet, would you have the same issues?
I will say it makes it a little better because I think women's poop just in my head is cleaner than men's poop.
It is.
It is. I've never seen I've seen women blow up bathrooms, but never like a man. Like I know that people are like women's bathrooms are crazy, but I'm like, it's just because God's forcing us to bleed every month. Like it's just because God hates women too. Like everyone hates us. It sucks, dude. It sucks. God does not like women. I kind of believe that God's a woman who doesn't like women. She's like, I'm going to make them gain weight every month when I'm feeling insecure.
God's a female comic.
Yeah. Oh, I think so. They do say God's a comedian.
Yeah.
And I never see her booked at any club, so she's probably a female comic. And a lot of people hate her for no reason.
Yeah.
Oh, people fucking hate and they've never even seen her work.
Yeah. It's just
they've never. Oh my God! They'll say God's special. Wasn't that funny?
But everybody benefits.
Just kidding. Yeah, everybody benefits. Oh, but suddenly when a miracle happens, we're all thanking her. My special was good. I kill myself. Yeah, dude. I don't know. I'm exhausted and I want my car back. I want to be free. I want to roam. I really want to. I've been obsessed. Do you know who the Outdoor Boys are?
No, I don't.
Okay, the Outdoor Boys is this dad. He's like this nerdy fucking. It's like if you were like if I were to go, like, imagine a nerdy, white, pale grown Mormon man. As nerdy as possible, nose breather, glasses, like, now pull up Outdoor Boys and tell me how close you were to the image in your head. Outdoor Boys dad. And it's this dude who I just started hate watching because he was a nerd. Like, I just started being like, this guy's sweet. Yeah, that. And go to images. There he is. Is that not what you imagine when you think of a nerd?
Yeah.
That's like exactly. He looks like he's snorting there. Yes. He's classic nerd. I started watching his channel to be like, this guy can't camp. And I am obsessed with him. He just like, all he does is survival camping. So he'll bring his small children out into like -15 and go with nothing. Like just a little bit of food, but like no tent. And they build a tent and they bring like bear fur with them and they like coat it in bear fur. And it's fucking nuts. Yeah. And they make hella money. I looked it up. This motherfucker was making 80 grand a month. So much so where I started hating on the channel because I was like, he leaves his wife and kids. And then I realized he made so much money that I think they bought a huge property and he just camps on his own property. And he doesn't even leave his children. I mean, he goes for the night, but like in their property and then comes back. And he's a genius and his channel is so fucking interesting. But he does look like his dick smells like a book. Like he is a nerd, man. But ever since I've been watching his channel, I've been having the urge to do some survivalist shit.
Yeah, it's fun. I was a Boy Scout when I was young.
Really?
Yeah.
For how long?
Years. My cousins were, and I went camping every year.
You were like the Masons of Boy Scouts? Like my cousins were, their cousins were.
Long line of Boy Scouts.
Really?
Yeah. No.
What was your thing, this?
It's the 3 fingers. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or Scouts Honor.
Scouts Honor, yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember any of it. I mean...
You don't?
I quit when I started smoking weed.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. You can't be a Boy Scout getting high.
No.
You can't be rolling a backwood and also being a Boy Scout. It's like, this kid's got to go. He's started jerking off and he's smoking weed now.
Exactly.
Once you get horny, you can't be a Boy Scout anymore. That should be the rule. They should ask, like, if you're like a little tall.
It gets real weird.
Why?
But like being younger, and then there were older Boy Scouts that were like on the tail end of puberty.
Oh, yeah.
And then they're fucking with kids that haven't started puberty yet. It's like,
it's
weird.
Oh, yeah. It's like a weird summer camp.
Yeah.
Dude, did you ever go to summer camp?
Oh, yeah.
I went to a summer camp. It was like a day camp. So my mom would pick me up every day, but drop me off every morning.
Mm-hmm. I've done those.
Yeah. And it was so fun. But my mom would make me like hit on the camp counselors for her. Like the guy that ran the go-kart, she'd be like, can you tell him I think he's cute?
Stop.
Yeah, I swear to God. And I'd be like, my mom thinks you're cute. And he'd be like, okay. Anyways, like.
It's like a teenager.
No.
Oh.
I think they were in their 20s.
Okay.
Or maybe they were teenagers.
It's pretty much teenagers that run that shit.
I think my mom thought one of them was cute. Is my mom a child molester? Am I finding out in real time?
I mean,
I did have a dream one time that my mom diddled a kid and I looked at her weird for a few weeks. That like the whole town found out that my mom was a child, like a baby diddler. And that I was like embarrassed, and that I was a comic at this point when I had this dream, and that and it came out, Kim's mom diddles kids. Then it was like on all the Reddit threads. And I did have that dream. And I literally looked at my mom weird and I told her about it and she was so sad. I was like, I didn't dream you were a molester. And she was like, that's really sad. Anyways,
that's insane.
What does that mean?
I don't know. What did you do at these camps? What did you do at the summer camp?
Oh, the camps, you lived life, dude. You could do go-karts. You could go fishing. It was like a Florida in the woods camp. You could go swim in the river that was probably filled with alligators. I think a kid died there because he got bit by a water moccasin at my camp. Yeah.
That's my biggest fear.
But there was also church. There was church. Whoa. Hold on. I think I was at a church camp.
That makes sense, especially because they're usually like funded. Usually they don't charge much.
That makes sense because we were poor. Yeah, and it was free summer camp.
Yeah.
Holy fuck! I remember.
Went to a church camp too. It was like faith based, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it was. And I remember camp is where I learned how to swallow pills with Tic Tacs. Kids would bring in Tic Tacs, and this is a very Florida child thing. And we'd be like, let's practice swallowing pills. And I swear to God, that's where I learned on an orange Tic Tac at summer camp in '02. No,
maybe even
maybe
earlier.
before that.
Yeah.
98.
Yeah.
98, I swallowed my first Tic Tac. We would shake them like they were pill things.
Oh my God.
And then we'd put them in each other's hands. And then we'd start seeing how many we could swallow at a time. I think I got to 4 one time and I was like, I can't. I'm going to OD off the orange. Yeah, so I slowed down.
Counselor finds a kid just fucking choking on a handful of Tic Tacs.
We need Narcan. This kid's got 40 packs of tack in him. Yeah, I also remember at that summer camp that I wasn't even trying to pull a prank, and it looked like I got fucking framed like I was a bad person because there was a girl standing praising the Lord, and there was a chair, and I didn't realize that she was using that chair, and I pulled it to sit in it because she was just standing a little further, and then she went to sit in it and hit her head, and everyone thought I did the thing.
Yeah.
But it was just a coincidence where I wasn't looking and I pulled out a chair and she went to go sit and I got in big trouble. And literally I fucking hated that as a kid. Doing something genuinely by accident and getting in trouble is one of the most betraying feelings as a child.
But did you ever do stuff like that?
No.
Like, did you ever let the intrusive thoughts win?
No. I was never like a hurt other kids or like prank. A harmful prank. Actually, this kid, Brett, that I went to high school with still brings up when I pranked him because I had those spicy eye drops. You know, those eye drops that are like minty?
No.
Oh my God. There's the Quavo or whatever they are.
They're like the round bottles.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I pranked him one time telling him it was regular eye drops. And he literally is like 35 now and he'll still message me like, remember when you gave me those eye drops that hurt? So when I do get famous, that kid is going to come out and say that. I'm admitting it now on the pod. I'm sorry, Brett. I did think it was funny. And the second you put it in your eyes, I didn't think it was funny anymore. I want you to know that. What were those called?
My buddy swore by them and I hated them.
I loved them because they did make no, they were put in spicy eye drops. I swear to God, I'm a professional Googler. What did I tell you?
Roto drops.
You put in spicy and what happened? I should have a job in Googling.
Yeah, they are the Rotos.
The Rotos.
Yeah.
I mean, this kid thinks of those like flashbacks from Nom. I know he does.
They did hurt.
They did hurt.
They fucked you
I
up.
liked the pain. I thought they hurt, but then after your eyes felt so cold to the touch that you could keep them really wide. That was the secret.
Never more clear.
Never more clear.
Yeah.
That sounds like a band.
It's an Everclear cover act.
Never. It's like if the lead singer died and they did like Sublime with Room.
Never more clear.
Yeah, dude, those fucked. But yeah, I don't know. High school was a wild time for me. My high school is fucked. I've talked about this before, so I won't get too into it. But going to school in Florida is insane. You're literally being taught by crazy people with like Florida ethics. And it's not good. And the education just keeps getting passed down. I had a 3rd grade teacher who told me I could survive off ice cream sandwiches. No water. For my whole life. My science teacher. No, that was not 3rd grade. That was like 5th grade. But my science teacher said that and meant it. I had at my school in high school, one day, I've told this story. I won't get into it. But real quick, one day I walk into my school in the hallways with me and my friends, and suddenly the door's locked behind us. The lights shut off. We can't get out. The other doors to the classroom, you hear them all lock. We can't go anywhere. We're herded into the hallway like sheep. We're looking around. We're like, what's going on? Suddenly a scary light comes on. And then one of the doors open. We walk into the room. There's a student being operated on. And he's screaming in his eyes and he's going, ah! And then there's a dude, he's dressed like a Nazi. They did a reenactment of the Holocaust without telling us and made us the Jews. And herded us into a thing, and we're like, see, this is what happened if you could have been Jewish then. And that's the way they taught us, with fear.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I'm from New England, and everybody was like super liberal really early.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No, I unfortunately was wearing Confederate flag t-shirts, not knowing what was going on. I was like, my friends love these shirts, so I'm going to get one. I swear to God, I think I had a shirt that said, don't tread on me.
See, I want that now.
These colors never run. Never have. Never will. My favorite commercial, Ford truck. I'm a Ford truck man. That's all I drive. That one. Yeah. I grew up in the shit, dude. In the shit. N-words galore around me. I mean, goddamn. And not from black people. Not from black people.
Just vivid memories.
When I moved to LA, I was culture shocked. I said, why aren't you guys saying the N-word? You guys should be saying it more, right?
As an adult.
Yeah. 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 I was like Chappelle in that sketch where he's a blind man. I was a Puerto Rican being like, too many spics out here. Yeah, I really grew up with a lot of white people. It was sad. They used to call me in 3rd grade. I used to get picked on, and they used to call me Haitian. That's how they bullied me because I was the darkest in my class.
Really?
And they would call me Haitian. Well, I get very dark during the summer. I look more like New Delhi, like a very dark Indian.
Yeah, you're on.
I don't think I give Haitian, but yeah, that's what they thought of. I think
tech support.
Haiti's like the closest black place to Florida, like a really black place. So that was their choice insult.
I guess it's a good one.
They were racist growing up. Racist.
Yeah.
We had this town called University. It was really hood. It still is pretty bad. And like growing up, I actually don't know if this was a rumor or true, but I heard that like ambulances would have police escorts when they went through the neighborhood. And like I was the only part of town I was banned from driving through. So naturally, like we all wanted to drive through it for fun. It's like taking a trip to Skid Row.
Yeah.
You got to do it once. You've never done it?
No, I've never been to Skid Row, actually.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Let me tell you what. It's like going to, if Universal Studios had like a Walking Dead segment, that's Skid Row. I took my mom, and it was like, it got so overwhelming with homeless people that I was trying to back my car up, and there was too many, and they were surrounding our car. I'm like, oh no, they smell that we've showered. Like, we got to get out of here. It's like the zombies know. It is really sad,
They
dude.
take your car apart like the horse.
Yeah, I'm like, I keep driving. I'm like, I think my catalytic converter is gone in the moment right now.
While you were moving.
Yeah, but yeah, you have to experience it once. But it was fucked. My town was fucked.
I never had a bad neighborhood that like I wasn't allowed to go to. Actually, Lynn. I'm from Massachusetts. So,
okay.
My mom was like, don't go to Lynn. Don't ever.
And how bad was it? Was it really bad, or was it just not as good?
It was pretty bad.
Oh, it was?
Lynn and Revere, when I was growing up, was like, they were pretty bad towns.
Oh, fuck. Do you have weird memories? Was your childhood normal?
More normal than most, probably. But what?
Who has a normal childhood?
I mean,
do people have that?
I mean, I started doing drugs young.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
How young?
Like, I started like sneaking beers with my friends when I was like 11, and then like smoking pot regularly when I was like 14.
Oh, okay.
And then my first cigarette was with my older cousins. I was 6 years old.
Whoa, that's really young.
Yeah.
That's nuts. Yeah, the first time I smoked weed, I was 13, and the situation was actually like, if I was a mother, would terrify me. I was at my friend Rachel's house, and my friend Rachel was like, she always looked like Amanda Bynes to me. And she was like so cool. I thought she was like the coolest, prettiest girl. I remember the first time I ever saw her, I walked up to her and I was like, do you want to be friends? Because you're a girly girl and I'm a tomboy. That's what I said to her. That was my pitch. And she was like, that works out for me. And we became friends, and I thought she was fucking cool, but she was bad. And I was like a little anxious pussy with like, my mom like threatened me with the devil a lot. So I was like always scared I was going to go to hell.
Okay.
And so she'd be like, let's do this. And I'd be like, we can't, we're going to get in trouble or possibly die. Like I was like constantly scared. And I just remember Rachel, like my image of spending the night at Rachel's house is her like pushing her screen out and being like, you can come or you can just fucking stay here, and leaving the window, and me being like a movie, like the scared kid that's like, oh, and I go out the window. Like that was my entire friendship with her. It was almost an abuse thing until like we became true best friends.
Yeah.
And the first time we smoked weed, she snuck me out the window. She was first to drink, first to have sex, first to hook up. So I was always like, what was it like when you got fingered? I remember we had a notebook and we had code words, and they were so obvious, like because we wanted to write to each other about like what we did over the weekend.
You passed a notebook back and forth.
Oh, one notebook,
Yeah,
full of everything. Horrible idea. And And because when our parents found it, they were like reading it to us, and we realized like these code words are so obvious. She was like, so I blew his raspberry last night. It was like all the context you needed to know that a raspberry was a child's dick. That sounds weird. During the time I was also a child, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. So we did have code words, but the first time I smoked weed, we snuck out and we went to a 20-year-old's house. We were 13.
Oof.
Yeah, and it was a bunch of 20-year-old dudes, like 4 or 5
And
of
is
them.
that who your friend was hooking up with?
My friend was, I think, hooking up with one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they were like grown men, and they lived in this trap house. And I knew it was a trap house because the trap house has, maybe I'm wrong about this. Is a trap house a house where it's like the front door's locked, but there's ways out of the back and through the windows? What's the definition of a trap house?
The definition of a trap house is basically just where you sell drugs.
Right.
It's
But
like-
isn't
it's
there
like
a
a shitty
specific
house.
way the house has to be locked to become a trap house? Or am I wrong about that?
Not that I know of, but
Can we look up the
that makes-
definition?
That makes sense. How it would be like, okay, you talk to somebody through the window and then they come in the back, but the front door's locked. So
Yeah.
the cops don't come in, you know.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah, it was something like that, I think. I don't know. Let's see, trap house definition. Yeah, I guess
It's just
you're right.
a place where illegal drugs
Yeah,
are
so it was
sold.
definitely a trap house. There's definitely drugs being sold there. And we come in through this like weird rogue side door. And then we go in the room, and my heart's beating out of my chest because I've never hung out with boys alone, and these are men.
Yeah.
And I'm like never smoked weed, and I know we're going over there to get high. Like that's the plan. Like they're gonna smoke us out. And I am just stoned. We go in, it's just me and her and 6 grown men. And we're in this room hanging out. You know what? Maybe they weren't 20, but they were like 17 to 18 and we were 13. They were like way too old.
Yeah.
And
Might as well have. been.
yeah, and we walk in the room and they're like, "Oh, have a seat." And there's like a weird couch in this bedroom. So we're in the bedroom of the house, not even hanging in a living room. And they close the door and they lock it with like 7 locks. Like there's like it was like a sketch. Like they put in a code, they put in a thing, they fucking put in a thing, they put a chair against the door, and I'm like, we're going to die. In my head, I'm like, this isn't good.
Yeah.
And then they like turn around and look at us, and it gets kind of quiet, and they're like, let's get high. And they ended up being really cool and just getting us stoned. Like they were just like on drugs and paranoid, I think. And they just got us high and then dropped us off back home. And nothing actually bad happened. But when I think about the situation, I'm like, it's so fucking crazy.
They seem like sweet boys.
They were sweet boys.
sweet
They were
boys.
sweet trap house boys.
Yeah.
So we got lucky. We ran into sweet trap house boys.
I was definitely a trap house boy.
You were?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you start smoking at 6. You don't not become a trap house boy.
Yeah, and then like we like trapped out my friend's house, and his parents would like be there, and like he had like a basement room you could come in and out of, and then like he had like a back porch we'd hang out on all day, and people would just like come through, sit for a minute, bounce. And then like, and we all like would pick up ounces and like just be selling dime bags just like out of the house. Like, yeah, we definitely like trapped out my buddy's house, and his parents hated us.
Did they know? They knew.
They knew.
Oh,
They
yeah.
liked me because I was a nice boy.
You were a nice trapper.
I was a nice trap boy.
Well, not Lee, the sweet trapper. The sweetest trapper ever was. That boy's a good drug dealer. We like him with our son. Why can't you just sell drugs with Lee? He's a good boy.
He's a good egg.
He's a good egg. Yeah, dude. I tried to sell drugs for one day in college for this guy that I was hooking up with, that I was like in love with, that could care less about me.
Checks
and
out.
He sold drugs, and he was like, "I'm leaving town. I need you to push for me." And I was like, "Oh, I'm the trap queen wife." And then I literally lost him so much money because I was bad at math, and I was like, "I don't know what any of this means." Like they'd be like, "Can I get an eighth?" But actually throw another quarter on top, and I was like, take it all. Like I was just like, it was the worst day of my life. It was so stressful. I kept
It's high
calling him.
pressure.
It is high pressure, and then the people are staring at you while you're weighing it. It's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I remember he used to soak his weed in liquid so it'd be heavier when he put it on the scale.
Yeah, or throw orange peels in the bag.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's different tricks.
Yeah. So he was a bad guy. I'm still friends with him.
That's
It's
normal.
actually like now that we're adults, we're friends.
That's
but
normal suburb fucking.
he was particularly bad. Like he was bad. Like I remember one day I left his house and 5 minutes later he got robbed at gunpoint.
Oh,
like
Jesus.
he was, and then one of the biggest things is one day he asked me to pick him and his friends up from McDonald's on the highway because they just got back into town. And when I came in, they put in my car, I mean, bags of Molly. Like this big, just filled to the brim with Molly pills, like 40,000 pills of Molly. And I was like, that was actually the last time I ever hung out with him or fucked with him because I was driving the whole time. And I was driving and it was my car and I have all these fucking dudes in my car. And when we got out of the car, I was like, get out. And I looked it up and it was like, if he had 2, it was like a felony of like 8 years. And I was like, I had 4,000. I would have been in prison for life.
Yeah.
For the rest of my life.
Yes. So I definitely come from like a soft boy, like white bread area. So like that level wasn't even around me when I was that young.
Yeah.
But once I got to college, I had those friends.
Yeah, this was college for me.
Okay.
This was college. This was my first year of college.
Yeah.
And now I was like shocked because I've done kind of bad things. Me and my friend Rachel used to lure molesters when we were 13 in chat rooms to meet us at the park, and then we'd just watch them show up.
Stop.
We'd like hide and be like, look at this weirdo.
So you'd be like a cop on the other end, but you'd actually be 13-year-old girls.
We'd be real 13-year-old girls, and we'd be like, meet us at Indian Park, and then at 3:00, and then at 2:45 we'd go hide like in someone's yard or something, watching the park and watch the dude pull up and just giggle and then go home and be like, what an idiot.
What if they found you?
They didn't.
That's so insane.
I know.
How do you even think of that?
I literally messaged my friend Rachel about it. I mean, it's not a lie. I literally messaged her about it the other day. I'll read you our conversation. But yeah, it's fucking nuts. They could have just taken us. And also now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, we shouldn't have been leading them to the park. They're already there and horny. So like
that's where they tell you to go.
Yeah, I know. No, we were the molesters. We emotionally molested these guys.
Have you ever talked about this? This is insane.
I think I've brought it up. I don't remember on what podcast.
Okay.
But I've been podcasting for 11 years, so I'm sure it's slipped out a few times.
This is insane.
I messaged my friend.
I want to get into this.
What did I say to her? Remember when we used to make pedophiles from chat rooms meet us and go to the park down the street and we would just ghost them? She said, yes, we were so weird.
We were weird. We were crazy.
She wrote, this is that girl that would sneak out the window. Remember when I got drunk and scratched my mom's face? I said, oh my God, yes, the scratch. And then she wrote back, I'm pretty sure your mom used to spank me. So
your mom never was like, don't hang out with that girl?
All the time, but like she couldn't. I loved Rachel.
Yeah.
She was like my best, like truly, like when you meet a best friend and you're like, this is my best friend, I stand by whatever choices she makes. Like there was no tearing us apart.
Yeah.
We would like go out of our way to try and be in the same classes. We were like, we're still really good friends. But yeah. Crazy what we would do in those chat rooms. I mean, to lure pedophiles is nuts.
I've never heard of anything like that. Like actual 13-year-old girls luring pedophiles.
But isn't that really funny? Didn't we have fun senses of humor at 13?
It is objectively fun.
We were doing it before the YouTube channels were. We were actually ahead of our time.
Way ahead.
We were the original Chris Hansons, 2 13-year-old girls in Sebastian, Florida. Those fucking luring pedophiles. I remember the first pedophile was wearing a red shirt.
Just for the rush, by the way.
Yeah. And he told us, I'll be wearing a red shirt. And we saw him pull up and we're like, like the fucking, I remember the adrenaline going through our body when we're like, this dude really showed up to take us. Like, it was like kind of a high.
Being aware of that.
Aware.
That's what's blowing me
away. We should have called the cops. We were 13. We were like, he'll get some other sucker.
Also, you didn't talk to the cops.
No, we don't talk to the cops. We were 13.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, we were nuts, dude.
Florida's another level.
I talk about this on stage right now where when I was little, me and my sister used to go play at these kids' houses. And they would be visiting their dad, and their dad was like obviously mentally ill and very crazy. And we would go over there all the time and hang out. And I'm like shocked thinking about it. It looked like their dad looked like an overweight version of the dude from Splice.
Okay.
Just kind of nuts, dude.
I don't know that.
Oh yeah, look up the dude from Splice and then imagine him. Oh, not Splice. Split.
Is that a TV show?
Split movie. If that guy.
Oh yeah.
Go to images real quick. If this guy was overweight with glasses.
I like that one,
He looked like an overweight version of this dude. Like huge though. He was like 6'4", big dude, bald, glasses. And he was actually really nice, but he was obviously mentally ill. Like we would go over to his house and he would tell us that he would hear demons in his head and they would tell him to do horrible things. And then like that he would draw these obviously schizophrenic, you know the schizo art.
Did he have a wife? Like
no,
was there any mom around or anything?
No. It was just they would be going with their dads on the weekend. And when we were at our grandpa's house and it was a weekend, we'd go over and play with them.
Wow.
Yeah. And he would have these paintings and he'd be like, yeah, instead of like doing what the voices say, I draw.
Wow.
And I think that might be like a thing that a lot of schizophrenic people do. And it was nuts. And I say on stage, I'm like, he never molested us, but he should have. Like it was like the energy was there. I don't even think he didn't give creepy to kids energy. He gave, I'm fucked up in the head and I'm really trying to work on it. And I'm going to tell a 9-year-old what's going on.
More of a harm to yourself than others.
Yes. Maybe a homicide suicide
Adults,
at most.
yeah.
Not a diddle, but maybe homicide suicide. Yeah. Maybe kill us.
If the mood strikes.
I could see him suddenly getting angry, but he never did. He was always really sweet. But I'm like just shocked. I'm like, why were our parents? One look at this guy would like. My kid's not going closed doors in their house.
Yeah.
And they also had a dude next door, and he was in a wheelchair. These were apartments. They were right next door to each other, and they all had like little sidewalks that led to the main sidewalk. So when we'd be walking,
like a complex.
Yeah, like a complex. Yeah. And when we'd be walking to their house, we'd have to pass this dude's house, and he was disabled in a wheelchair, like on some Stephen Hawking shit, like extremely disabled, had the little talkie thing, like, and he would be sitting there, and he would fucking pull his dick out. He was like 60 years old, and we were like 10, and he would pull his dick out and just. I don't know, dude. I gotta tell you,
that's a big day.
It's a big day when you realize that even disabled people can be diddlers. When you're like, you can't even trust the weak.
God's holding them back.
Yeah, dude. Thank God, because it could have been the best diddler alive. He could have been a speed diddler.
You guys were just for the picking.
Yeah, and he would have his dick out, and I talk about this on stage where I was always shocked that his wrists were so curled and his dick was like hard and straight. I'm like, that's the cock of a healthy man. Like he had the. And we would like tease him. We knew he wanted us, and we would like literally. I love teasing diddlers as a kid.
Were you ever a child?
What was I?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Actually.
Yeah.
No, I think it was always constantly avoiding pedophiles and domestic violence was most of my childhood. I talk about this on stage too, where I'm like, most of my teddy bears came from the cops. Like, they'd be like, "We are sorry you had to see that with your mom and dad. Here's Mr. Plushie."
All right, do you want to close with this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was looking up what was trending on Twitter, and it was spanking, and this came up. This is actually a real sport right now. It is national spanking. I thought it was about child abuse. That's why I wanted to talk about it.
It's just going to play through the TV.
Oh, okay, yeah. So let's see what's going on. Where is this? I mean, it'd be funny if Joe Rogan was commentating.
Yeah, it's like in an octagon.
Oh, that's a good spank.
It's like those slap competitions, but for thick bitches.
Yeah, and it doesn't really look. I got to tell you, as a girl with a big ass, it doesn't really hurt that much. So this is more. Let's see how hard this slap is. Come on, get her. Okay, this is sport made for man for sure. This is not what I thought it was gonna be
for the male gaze.
But honestly, it's kind of for my gaze too. I enjoyed it. Those are some nice butts. So you're welcome for that, everybody. And that's our episode. Guys, thanks for watching. You guys follow me on Instagram and Twitter on Kim Congdon, twitch.tv/QueenCong1. Shout out to the Comedy Store Studios for hosting the pod. Lee, thank you so much. Lee, do you want to drop
No, I got nothing.
All
Thanks for watch all the shows. Subscribe to the channel here.
Subscribe to the channel, check them out, and check out my special, Childless MILF, on YouTube right now. Oh, I should bring up my show dates. I've got a couple shows coming up. This drops this week, so I'm so ADD. I went to pull up my calendar and I immediately opened TikTok.
Yeah.
That's nuts. What month is it? Are we in March? Oh yeah, March 14th, This Bitch and Friends at the Comedy Store. Make sure you come buy tickets for that. We're going to sell out probably within this week or next week. There will be no more tickets, so make sure you check that out. March 27th, I'm doing the Love Fucks comedy dating show in the Belly Room at the Comedy Store again. Please come check it out. Again, another one of my shows that's sold out. The last 4 shows have been packed, and they've been the most fun. Please check that out. Really fun. April 4th through 6th, I am in Houston for the Riot Comedy Festival. So if you're in Houston, come out and check me out. And then in May, I will be in Massachusetts at the Crystal Ballroom. I'm so excited for that show. I've never been to Massachusetts, and I'm really looking forward to it. It looks really fun, and May seems like a good time to go. And in April, we have another This Bitch and Friends. It's an all-woman lineup. It's me, Annie Letterman, Sarah Weinshank, Jet Ski Johnson, Whitney Cummings. Who am I forgetting? Beth Stelling.
That looks like a lot of fun.
Oh my God, it's going to be such a good show. And that one is in April at the Comedy Store. I can't remember the specific date, and I should know. That is April 18th, 10:30 p.m. So buy tickets for all the shows and check out my special, and I'll see you guys next week. Thank you. Bye.